The Players Club is a dazzling yet treacherous journey of strippers desperate to change their lives. But 28 years later, the film's darkest tragedies seem to have bled into their real-world existence. From agonizing organ failures to high-profile political scandals ending in public humiliation, this is the raw, hidden side of the cast you were never told about. Let's find out. Bernie Mac as Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill, the loud-mouthed owner and ruthless entrepreneur of the club, was portrayed by Bernie Mac. Born October 5, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois, he was 40 years old, possessing a comedic timing so precise that he often stole the spotlight from the lead characters. This performance served as the essential bridge that launched him from a stand-up legend into a mainstream superstar. Bernie Mac passed away on August 9, 2008, at the age of 50 in Chicago. His death was officially caused by complications from pneumonia, but it followed a 20-year secret battle with sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory disease that attacked his lungs. At the time of his death, he had an estimated net worth of $15 million, leaving behind a legacy of comedy that redefined the sitcom landscape. But behind the booming voice and the king of comedy title was a man living in constant physical agony. For over 2 decades, Mac performed while his lungs were failing him. The long shooting schedules and high-energy stand-up tours were a dangerous gamble with his life. Every take on set was a struggle for breath that he hid from his audience, driven by a desperate need to provide for his family after growing up in poverty. The stress of being a crossover star, combined with the underlying inflammation of his disease, eventually pushed his heart to the breaking point during his final hospital stay. His immense discipline earned him 4 consecutive NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Actor, even as he quietly battled his deteriorating health. His performances in films like Bad Santa and Guess Who showcased a man who refused to let chronic illness stifle his creative output. Ultimately, his life was a sacrifice of the body for the craft, leaving a legacy of laughter that was bought with private pain, ensuring his place as one of the most respected and beloved comedians in television history. LisaRaye McCoy as Diana Diamond Armstrong. Diana Armstrong, the ambitious college student and lead dancer, was portrayed by LisaRaye McCoy. Born September 23, 1967 in Chicago, Illinois, she was 31 years old, bringing a combination of vulnerability and sharp power that resonated with audiences immediately. This performance became the defining breakthrough of her career, turning her into an overnight symbol of resilience and opening doors to a future she had fought hard to secure. As of 2026, LisaRaye is 58 years old and continues to thrive as an actress, entrepreneur, and public speaker. With an estimated net worth of $10 million, she has maintained a steady presence in projects like Single Ladies and through her own lifestyle brands. Recently, she has become a prominent voice in the life coaching space, using her platform to mentor women on self-worth and navigating high-profile heartbreak. However, the Diamond persona masked a real-life chapter of profound political and personal humiliation. Her 2006 marriage to Michael Masick, the then premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands, ended in a 2008 explosion of scandal and corruption allegations. LisaRaye found herself dragged into international headlines, framed by tabloids as both a trophy and a co-conspirator in a crumbling administration she didn't control. The divorce left her emotionally shattered and facing a massive financial recalibration as she fought to reclaim her identity from a marriage that threatened to erase her 20-year career. This period of public shame eventually fueled her comeback, leading to her NAACP Image Award nomination for her role in All of Us and her success as a published author. By choosing transparency over silence, she transformed her personal tragedy into a profitable brand centered on female empowerment. By 2026, her life is a testament to the fact that survival is her greatest credit. She remains a sought-after personality who proved that the grit she displayed in the Players Club was a genuine reflection of the woman she would become. Ice Cube as Reggie, the protective cousin and club employee, was portrayed by Ice Cube. Born June 15, 1969, in Los Angeles, California, he was 29 years old and arrived on set not just as an actor, but as the creative architect behind the entire project. This dual role as director and star allowed him to steer the film's gritty narrative, attempting to bridge the gap between his hardcore rap roots and his burgeoning career as a Hollywood filmmaker. As of 2026, Ice Cube is 57 years old and remains a formidable powerhouse in entertainment and business. With an estimated net worth of $160 million, his career has expanded from NWA and Boys and the Hood to the massive success of the Barbershop and Ride-Along franchises. Most recently, he has focused on his Big Three basketball league and remains an outspoken figure in political and social discourse, often making headlines for his contract with Black America. But behind his image as a cultural heavyweight, Cube faced a grueling battle with public perception and internal pressure. Critics at the time accused the film of exploiting the very women it claimed to empower. Furthermore, his long-standing marriage to Kimberly Woodruff, though enduring since 1992, faced the silent, heavy toll of his relentless expansion, navigating decades of long-distance tours and the high-stakes pressure of building a business empire that often kept him isolated from the family life he worked so hard to protect. And yet, his transition into a family-oriented brand proved his mastery of professional pivot, earning him a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and blockbuster success in films like 21 Jump Street. This shift was a calculated response to the mental exhaustion of his early confrontational era, allowing him to bypass the burnout that claimed his contemporaries. His life in 2026 is defined by this hard-won stability, a man who translated the raw energy of his youth into a corporate and cinematic legacy that has secured his status as one of the most influential figures in modern Black Hollywood. Charlie Murphy as Brooklyn, the street-hardened antagonist and club regular, was portrayed by Charlie Murphy. Born July 12, 1959, in Brooklyn, New York, he was 38 years old in 1998, carrying with him a life experience that made his performance feel less like acting and more like a warning. This brief but memorable appearance showcased the gritty, unfiltered comedic voice that would later make him a cultural icon. Charlie Murphy passed away on April 12, 2017, at the age of 57 in New York City after a private and courageous battle with leukemia. With an estimated net worth of $2.5 million at the time of his death, he left behind a massive comedic legacy. He is best known for his legendary True Hollywood Stories on Chappelle's Show and his work as a writer and actor in films like Harlem Nights and the hit animated series The Boondocks. But for decades, Charlie lived in the immense shadow of his younger brother, Eddie Murphy. The deepest blow to his personal life came in 2009 when his wife, Tisha Taylor Murphy, died of cancer, leaving him to raise their children while grappling with profound grief. Even as he faced his own terminal diagnosis of blood cancer, he kept his condition secret from the public, continuing to perform stand-up sets while undergoing grueling chemotherapy treatments. This resilience turned his personal suffering into some of the most authentic comedy of his era, earning him a dedicated global following. His roles in Power and Black Jesus showcased his ability to blend street wisdom with humor, proving he was a master narrator of his own life's chaos. Charlie Murphy's legacy is not just that of a superstar's brother, but of a man who faced loss and illness with a defiant smile, ensuring his own name would be remembered for its unique and fearless brilliance. Chrystale Wilson as Ronnie, the rival dancer and gritty survivor of the club, was portrayed by Chrystale Wilson. Born March 28, 1971, in Atlanta, Georgia, she was 27 years old in 1998, utilizing her own past experiences to deliver a performance that felt dangerously real. This breakout role transformed her into a cult icon, but it also left her grappling with the complexities of an industry that struggled to see her beyond the stripper archetype. As of 2026, Chrystale Wilson is 55 years old and continues to work as an actress, writer, and producer outside the traditional Hollywood system. With an estimated net worth of $2 million, she has maintained her career through roles in Lockdown and Trois, as well as producing her own independent projects. She has recently focused on advocacy work, helping young women in the entertainment industry navigate the same pitfalls she faced during her early rise to fame. However, the reality behind her success was a brutal cycle of financial instability and industry pigeonholing. Before her big break, Wilson worked as an exotic dancer to survive while holding a legal secretary job by day, a double life that created immense psychological stress and exhaustion. After the Players Club, she found herself trapped in a world of typecasting, where major studios only offered roles that required her to repeat the same hypersexualized image, leading to a period of professional disillusionment and a struggle to find her true creative voice. Despite these hurdles, she reclaimed her narrative by becoming a published author and a producer, earning respect for her tenacity in a cutthroat business. Her work in the All the Queen's Men series highlights her enduring screen presence and her ability to command a scene. By 2026, Chrystale Wilson is a woman who has successfully blurred the lines between her past and her future, proving that her true talent lies in her ability to survive the spotlight and reinvent herself on her own terms. Jamie Foxx as Blue Blue, the charming DJ and Diamond's love interest, was portrayed by Jamie Foxx. Born December 13, 1967, in Terrell, Texas, he was 31 years old, grounding energy that balanced its more chaotic elements. This role showcased the effortless charisma that would eventually lead him to an Academy Award and establish him as one of the most versatile triple-threat talents in Hollywood. As of 2026, Jamie Foxx is 58 years old and is currently making a triumphant return to the spotlight after a harrowing health scare in 2023. With a massive net worth of $170 million, he remains one of the most versatile talents in the world. Latest reports from 2025 and 2026 highlight his emotional return to stand-up and his work on the film Back in Action, where he has spoken candidly about seeing the tunnel during his medical emergency. But beneath the accolades is a history of deep, private struggle regarding his upbringing and health. Adopted by his grandparents, Foxx lived with a sense of abandonment from his birth parents that fueled a relentless, sometimes exhausting drive to prove himself. The most terrifying chapter, however, came with his 2023 medical complication that left him hospitalized for months. The silence surrounding his condition led to a whirlpool of tabloid rumors, creating a period of intense psychological stress for him and his family as they fought to protect his privacy while he literally relearned how to walk and function. His recovery has been marked by a renewed focus on his musical and dramatic range, evidenced by his recent Golden Globe-nominated performance in The Burial. This survival story has added a layer of profound vulnerability to his recent work, mirroring the resilience he showed early on in Living Color. By 2026, Jamie Foxx is no longer just a performer, but a symbol of endurance, turning a life-threatening crisis into a career renaissance that has solidified his status as a living legend. Terrence Howard as KCKC, the menacing, sharp-edged, and controlling figure whose presence represented the dangerous underbelly of the club, was portrayed by Terrence Howard. Born March 11, 1969 in Chicago, Illinois, he was 29 years old in 1998. His performance was disturbingly grounded, hinting at the immense dramatic range that would later earn him an Oscar nomination for Hustle and Flow and lead him to stardom in Empire. As of 2026, Terrence Howard is 57 years old and occupies a unique, often controversial space in the industry. His net worth is estimated at $5 million, a figure significantly lower than his peers due to years of legal battles and his retirement from mainstream acting to pursue his own theories on mathematics and physics, teleology. While he still takes occasional roles in independent projects, he is more often seen in the news for his unconventional scientific claims and ongoing disputes with major studios. However, KC's on-screen menace was often mirrored by a real-life history of volatility and domestic heartbreak. Howard's career momentum was repeatedly fractured by multiple allegations of domestic violence and assault spanning decades, including a 2011 admission of striking his wife. These incidents, along with a reputation for being difficult on set, led to his high-profile exit from the Iron Man franchise, a moment that cost him tens of millions of dollars and altered the trajectory of his career forever. The internal struggle between his undeniable genius and his self-destructive impulses has left him in a cycle of public backlash and professional isolation. Despite these controversies, his artistic impact is undeniable, highlighted by his BET Award for Best Actor and his memorable roles in Crash and The Butler. These performances serve as a reminder of the brilliance he often compromised through his personal instability. By 2026, Howard's journey stands as a stark narrative of a man whose legacy is split between the profound depth of his screen work and the complex, often troubled reality of his personal life. Anthony Johnson as Lil Man. Lil Man, the neighborhood thief and comedic hustler, was portrayed by Anthony Johnson. Born February 1, 1966 in Compton, California, he was 32 years old in 1998 and utilized his roots in the neighborhood to inject a hyper-realistic pulse into every scene. His expressive physicality and street-smart delivery made him a staple of 90s black cinema, capturing a specific era of urban comedy. Anthony Johnson passed away on September 6, 2021, at the age of 55 in Los Angeles County. His death was later attributed to multi-organ failure related to years of chronic health struggles and substance issues. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at less than $500,000, a stark contrast to his peak fame. He remains best remembered for his iconic role as Izal in Friday, as well as his appearances in House Party and Menace II Society. But behind the laughter was a tragic cycle of professional neglect and personal decline. After his success in the late 90s, Johnson found himself increasingly sidelined by Hollywood, leading to long periods of unemployment and severe financial instability. The lack of a support system led him into a quiet battle with addiction and isolation, as he struggled to reclaim the momentum of his youth. His final years were marked by failing health, culminating in him being found unresponsive in a store, a lonely end for a man who had once been the life of the party. His life serves as a sobering reminder of the fragility of fame and the toll of the entertainment industry on those it leaves behind. Despite his struggles, his comedic timing in I Got the Hookup and The Great White Hype remains part of his enduring contribution to the genre. Anthony Johnson's story is one of a raw talent who provided joy to millions while navigating a private world of hardship, leaving a legacy that is both hilariously memorable and deeply cautionary. Monica Calhoun as Ebony Armstrong. Ebony Armstrong, the supportive sister and stabilizing force in Diamond's life, was portrayed by Monica Calhoun. Born July 29, 1971 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she was 27 years old in 1998, bringing a grounded emotional depth that acted as the film's moral compass. This role solidified her reputation as one of the most reliable dramatic actresses in black cinema, leading to a string of successful projects throughout the early 2000s. As of 2026, Monica Calhoun is 55 years old and remains a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. With an estimated net worth of $5 million, she is best known for her iconic roles in the Best Man franchise and Baghdad Cafe. Recently, she has made appearances in independent films and television guest spots, continuing to showcase the grace and talent that defined her early career while moving into roles that reflect her status as a veteran actress. But behind the scenes, Calhoun's life has been defined by a selfless and exhausting dedication to her family. For years, she has been the primary caregiver for her son, who was born blind, a journey that significantly limited her ability to pursue the high-demand career many expected for her. The emotional and physical strain of balancing the rigorous schedules of Hollywood with the specialized needs of her child led to long periods of professional silence as she chose the quiet duty of motherhood over the pursuit of fame. This personal sacrifice has only added to the reverence fans feel for her, as seen in her NAACP Image Award nomination for the Best Man holiday. Her ability to channel her real-life resilience into her performances has made her work in films like The Salon feel deeply authentic. By 2026, Monica Calhoun stands as a symbol of grace, proving that her legacy is not just measured by box office numbers, but by the strength she carries in her private life, turning her challenges into a quiet, enduring victory. Michael Clarke. Duncan. As bodyguard. Bodyguard, the massive enforcer of the club, was portrayed by Michael Clarke Duncan. Born December 10, 1957 in Chicago, Illinois, he was 41 years old in 1998 and arrived on set with a stature that required no special effects to impress. This natural dominance allowed him to transform a supporting role into a standout performance, setting the stage for his rapid ascent as one of Hollywood's most beloved character actors. Michael Clarke Duncan passed away on September 3, 2012, at the age of 54 in Los Angeles, California. His death followed a major heart attack he suffered months earlier, from which his body never fully recovered. At the time of his passing, he had an estimated net worth of $2 million, leaving behind a legendary career highlighted by an Academy Award nomination for his role as John Coffey in The Green Mile and memorable turns in Armageddon and Planet of the Apes. But behind his towering exterior was a man haunted by the violence he witnessed before finding fame. Working as a bodyguard for high-profile celebrities, Duncan was present the night the notorious B.I.G. was murdered, an event that left him with deep psychological scars and a desperate urge to leave the security industry forever. Furthermore, his final months were marred by a public and painful family dispute between his fiancée, Omarosa Manigault, and his sister over his will and medical care, casting a shadow of domestic turmoil over his final days. Despite these private struggles, he channeled his vulnerability into a career that broke stereotypes, proving a man of his size could be the emotional heart of a film. His performance in The Whole 9 Yards demonstrated his comedic range, while his voice work in Kung Fu Panda cemented his versatility. Ultimately, Duncan's life was a triumph of character over circumstance, using his physical gifts to create a legacy of kindness and artistic excellence that remains a standard in the industry today. John Amos as Officer Freeman. Officer Freeman, the corrupt policeman and secondary antagonist, was portrayed by the legendary John Amos. Born December 27, 1939 in Newark, New Jersey, he was 59 years old in 1998, arriving as a seasoned veteran among a cast of rising stars. He brought a formidable authority and seasoned gravitas to the role, acting as a veteran anchor for the film's younger cast. As of 2026, John Amos is 86 years old and remains a respected elder statesman of the acting community. With an estimated net worth of $3 million, his career spans over 5 decades, including his iconic roles as James Evans Sr. in Good Times, Kunta Kinte in Roots, and Cleo McDowell in Coming to America. Despite his age, he has remained active in documentaries and retrospective projects, celebrating his immense impact on television history. However, his later years have been clouded by a deeply painful and public family fracture. In 2023 and 2024, his children became embroiled in a bitter legal and media war, with his daughter accusing his son of elder abuse and financial exploitation. The situation became so dire that it prompted multiple police investigations, forcing a frail Amos to issue public statements defending his son while dealing with the emotional exhaustion of a family torn apart in the spotlight. This internal turmoil has not diminished his professional standing, as evidenced by his induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame and his enduring status as a pioneer for black actors. His work in The West Wing and Men in Trees demonstrated a range that lasted well into his senior years. John Amos's life is a testament to the endurance of a true artist, navigating the complexities of fame and family rifts with the same dignity that defined his most legendary characters. Faizon Love as Officer Peters. Officer Peters, the loud-mouthed partner and corrupt cop, was portrayed by Faizon Love. Born June 14, 1968 in Santiago de Cuba, he was 30 years old in 1998 and possessed a booming charisma that made him impossible to ignore on screen. His boisterous energy and unapologetic delivery made him one of the most recognizable character actors in the urban comedy circuit of the late 90s. As of 2026, Faizon Love is 58 years old and remains a frequent presence on the stand-up comedy circuit and in independent film. With an estimated net worth of $8 million, he has sustained a career through memorable roles in Friday as Big Worm, Elf, and Couples Retreat. He continues to engage with audiences through popular podcasts and live tours, where he is known for his unfiltered and often controversial takes on the entertainment industry. But beneath his comedic persona is a history of volatile public incidents and legal setbacks. Love has faced multiple arrests, including a 2017 assault charge involving an airport employee, and has been involved in numerous public feuds with fellow comedians that have strained his professional reputation. These outbursts, often fueled by a short temper and a refusal to self-censor, have at times stagnated his career, preventing him from securing consistent leading roles in major studio productions. Nevertheless, his impact on the cult classic genre is undeniable, particularly through his voice work in Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, and his performance in The Replacements. He has navigated the stresses of the industry by leaning into his niche as a straight talker, even when it comes at a personal cost. By 2026, Faizon Love's journey reflects the life of a man who refuses to play by Hollywood's rules, choosing a path of raw honesty and independent success over the polished image expected of a mainstream star. So, 28 years after The Players Club, the cast has taken very different paths. Some stayed in the spotlight, while others stepped away and built new lives beyond Hollywood. Looking at the cast now, who surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this then and now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates like this.